Hey guys, and welcome back. I hope you guys are having a great day. I wanted to come on and do a video on my other breast pump, the Spectra. So if you look back last week, I posted a video on the Ameda Mya, which is right here. This is the new pump that I got this time. And I wanted to give you guys a little video on the Spectra, which is what I had from my twins. This is the Spectra S1. So the difference between the S1 and the S2 is pink. The only difference is this one has a internal battery that you can unplug and use it around, and you're not attached to an outlet. So I actually paid an upgrade for this one. I'm trying to remember if this was available. I'm pretty confident last time when I got it through my insurance, I had to pay an upgrade to get the S1 that had the battery. And this time, I believe this one would have been free with my insurance. So each time is different. They upgrade. I have the same insurance, but it's just different every time. So there are some hacks I saw with the S2 that you can attach a battery and all this. But if I was getting a Spectra and it was an upgrade and I could afford it, I would definitely get the one with the battery pack, because that's nice. So the first thing I want to tell you about this one is a little bit more complex. So if, again, watch my last video, I talked about how the Ameda Mya literally has one button. You do massage, and so you do like let down and then expression, and it has just level up and down. This one has a lot more options on it. So whether that's good or bad, it's kind of for up to you to decide. So this one has a lot more options. So this one has your on button, then your let down and expression button, where you change between, massage till you get the milk flowing, and then expression. It has a cycle and then a vacuum. So the vacuum is basically the same as the level. So that's how powerful you want the level, and you want it to be comfortable, not painful. And then the cycle is you can cycle through tons of different options on the Spectra. So it's a lot more complicated. So you can simply use the Spectra like you use the Ameda, and you can just do let down and expression. So that is level 70 is like your massage and your let down, and then 50 is more your expression. And you can change the levels on this. But there's also a bunch of other cycles you can go through to kind of see what's best to maximize your milk supply. And honestly, I couldn't tell you what all the levels are when I use this, and I used a lot with my twins because I pumped for 6 months. I used it a few times with this baby just to see if I could see a difference between this and the Ameda Mya, which I'll talk to you about in a few minutes. I honestly just do level 70 and 50. I didn't switch between them all, and just because it was very confusing to me, and I thought my output was fine. But you can go online, just type in Spectra usage or like Spectra settings, and people will give you their, like, for the first 3 minutes I did this 70, then I did 50, then I did 54 for 3 minutes, then I switched back to 70, and they'll kind of tell you what they did. And you can program that in here and figure out your own like routine. But if I'm being honest, I thought that was way too complicated for me, and I just used 70 and 50, which is your massage, let down, and then your expression, and that was fine. So this one, when you turn it on, there's no light on the screen, but it does give you your time. So you still have a timer, and then you still have the battery indicator light. On the Ameda Mya, when you turn it on, you have the actual light on the device. But this one has a little button here for a light, and it has a light at the top. So it does have a little light. So if you're pumping in the middle of the night, you can still see all your settings, which I thought was really nice. It also has a cup holder in the back. I'm not sure if it's for a bottle or what, but I never really used it. But there's a cup holder there. So, and it's 2 settings for the light. So not so bright, really bright, and off. It has a little handle so you can carry it around. So the difference between the two is obviously the size. Take a look. Very portable, not so portable. I still use this to move around. I would move it, you know, living room, bedroom, whatever. But as far as taking it to work, this was a lot more cumbersome. I had a diaper bag. This came with the Ameda Mya, so I didn't have a bag like this. I had an extra diaper bag, backpack one, because I didn't like the diaper bag that I had originally had, and I got a new one, so I used the old one for this. It's just not as, sorry, that's my baby. My husband's taking care of her. But it's just not as portable. So I had this in the backpack. I had to take it out every time. You know, it's just kind of clumsy when you're taking it to work. So this one is way, way better for like taking it to work, taking it in the car, all the things. Much more portable. This, they say, is hospital grade, but Ameda Mya, from what I understand, is also hospital grade, and a lot of the hospitals in other countries, instead of Medela, this is their brand. So that is something to keep in mind. What I like about these two pumps right now is that they are completely interchangeable with their parts. So the Ameda Mya and the Spectra use the same parts, which I appreciated when I was using both pumps. With my twins, I just had the Spectra. So same exact parts as the Ameda Mya, and you can get these on Amazon or Target for replacements. And it has the same exact little ports in the front where you plug one if you're only pumping one side, you unplug it if you want to pump both sides. So I never really had a reason to pump one side because I pretty much exclusively pumped for my twins, and that's what I did for Bridget as well. So you got your little tab out, you plug these into the front. These are the same parts as the Ameda Mya, so I actually am using the same Ameda bottles. Interchangeable, so the same thing applies as what I said in the video on the Ameda Mya. You can also put the Advent bottles onto here and pump right into the Advent bottles, which are the bottles that I use because they are wide mouth and they fit right on. So there you go. So not that many parts. You can buy replacements at Target for cheap, and it goes on exactly like the other one. So very, very easy. The other thing I wanted to tell you guys is the sound. So I actually thought this one wasn't very loud, but this one is a lot quieter. You can actually just hear it when I turn it on. This one we have massage. And expression. And this one, massage. And expression. So this one's a bit louder. Now I came home and I was pumping with the Ameda Mya, and I decided to pump with the Spectra and see how my output was. Keeping in mind that I only use massage and expression mode for both, which is the only options on the Ameda Mya, and it's what I use on the Spectra, I felt like I got the exact same output. So I think it's kind of, you have to just play with it, because I have seen that people prefer certain pumps because they definitely notice a difference in their output. I did not notice a difference. Because my baby is still only a few weeks old, I got 3 ounces with both. So exactly the same, no different. So to sum it up, if I had to tell people which one to choose, I would tend to lean towards the Spectra, just because you have a lot more options of pumping and a lot more options to play with to see if it changes your output, where the Ameda Mya, you don't have as many options to play with. You're kind of just stuck with the two. If you're looking for something very easy and simple and self-explanatory, the Ameda Mya is for you. It actually says massage and an expression when you press the button, so you really can't mess it up. It's very simple, small, compact, travels well, all of that. It's a lot quieter, so if you're looking for a quiet pump, I would go with this one. This one, you know, you have to just know that cycle 70 is your letdown and 50 is your expression. It doesn't actually say that. If you're looking for something with more options that you can play around with, this is a good one. And I have seen a lot of people say they get a lot more output on the Spectra versus any other pump, not necessarily the Ameda Mya. But again, I tried them both. I felt like I got the same, so I just think it's something you would just have to play around with. But this isn't as quiet. It's a little bit bulkier. It's a little bit bigger to move around. So just things to keep in mind. But I just wanted to give you guys a little kind of review. This is kind of the stuff that I would always look up, like the reviews on breast pumps. Which breast pump should I choose? Is it worth upgrading? Yada, yada. I know people really love the Medela breast pump. I have never had one. I've used the Medela hospital grade one, the really big one. Actually in the hospital I've used it. And I actually rented one when I came home from the NICU with my twins. And I had that in my bedroom, and I had the Spectra in the living room. And honestly, my output was exactly the same. So I had this huge hospital grade pump that I had rented, and this gave me the exact same output. So I don't know if it's just me, but my output never really changed on any of those different pumps. And so yeah, so a lot of people like the Medela. The Spectra is like the close second to the Medela. Between that and the Spectra, they're like the two most popular pumps from what I understand. This was a great pump. If I was a first-time mom and I didn't know, I would have chosen this one. The only reason I got the Ameda Mya is because I knew I had this at home, so if this didn't work, I would have this. But I have been extremely happy with this. Small, compact, not as loud, very easy, and I felt like I got the same output. If you have a chance to get both, that's great, because this one travels really well for work and the car, and this one is a little bit bulkier. They're both battery powered, which is fantastic. They both have lights, they both have timers, and you know, the Ameda is more self-explanatory, more user-friendly, especially in the middle of the night. There's just one button to press. You don't really have to remember anything because it tells you exactly what you're on. This one can be a little bit more complicated unless you're me and you just use one button, but you can mess around with it. So I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little, you know, what I liked and didn't like about these pumps. There's not really anything I don't like about the pumps. It's just kind of personal preference. There's differences, pros and cons. I like that the same pump stuff goes back and forth. So because I have the opportunity to have two pumps, it's really easy to just kind of switch them back and forth. So I hope you guys are having a great day. I hope this was somewhat helpful and helps you a little bit make your decision on breast pumps. And I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you next time.